Hello there, welcome along to Added Time. We're here for all post-match reaction to today's draw at Vicarage Road. It finished Watford 0, Bournemouth 0. So it's another point to the tally. Christian Kabasele joining us and Helen Ward of Watford Ladies fame to talk about the game. Christian, it is a point. Do you think the performance so merited anything more than that?
I think it was quite a 50-50 game. They had chances, we had chances, most of them in the first half. But we can be disappointed because now we start to be more solid in the back, at the back. Sorry, but up front we have some difficulties to score. So it's up to us to find the right balance now.
Was that the general feeling in the dressing room as well, do you think, amongst all the players?
Yes, of course. When we look back at our 3 games, I think we had enough chances to win the game. So last week we didn't have the help from the VAR, and it's just a question to keep working. We are close to win a game, and we will not give up.
Yeah, very close again, Helen. Can you sort of understand the way Cab is feeling after a game like that? Because it is a point, but I imagine there must be frustrations that whilst the problem at the back seems to have been solved to a certain extent, going forward, still just lacking.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see the game plan, what Kike's done since he's come here is to stop goals, and we've done that, which you have to be pleased about. And you're going to gain more points from keeping clean sheets than not. But yeah, you can see those frustrations in the final third. It's just either the execution of the pass or the finish or the decision making isn't quite there at the moment. But with the players that they've got out there, the talent in the squad, those goals will come. Obviously, being at home, you want to try and get as many points on the board. Get that first win is a big thing at the moment. It's a bit of a weight on the shoulders, I expect. But it's coming and it is improving. The last time I was here was West Ham, so the difference today compared to then is huge. And I think there are lots of positives to take, even though it's just a 0-0 draw.
Is there a feeling that you're on the cusp of a good result? It's nearly there.
Yes, I think so. Before the game, we really thought that today was the day, and everybody was disappointed after the game because there was space to win the game. We need to keep going. We're gonna enter into a very important part of the season with a lot of direct opponent for the relegation, and we just need to keep believing in ourselves. The win is really close.
Let's focus on the positive, and that is that in the last 3 games, defensively, we just seem to have tightened up so much. What's your perspective? Can you tell us what you think has clicked in that time?
I think the change of formation, simple as that. With 4 at the back, we were conceded too much spaces to the opponent, and now with an extra player there, we cover more spaces, and we can see that the opponent has some difficulties to find the space in our defense. So it's a good point. We need to keep going like this and start to be more clinical up front.
Helen, you play as a striker. Watching Watford as a defensive unit now, where do you see the improvement has come from? I mean, there's the obvious change in formation.
Yeah, it's just like Cabba said, it's tightening up spaces, not allowing teams in behind. I think teams are getting too much joy behind our back line, finding too much space in and around the box. But with the 3 central defenders, that's definitely stopped that problem. You look at a team like Bournemouth, they like to move the ball quickly, but we kept them in front of us today. Didn't really create too much against us, and I think that's a credit to the way the boys have set up and how they've played. But yeah, I think denying space is the biggest thing, and if you can see the ball in front of you at all times and you can move and react accordingly, and that's what they're doing at the moment. Only 1 goal conceded in 3 games is obviously something that's very good to work on, so more of the same.
I've got to ask you a question. What's it like playing out there when it's raining that hard, especially in the second half? I mean, you as well. It was absolutely hammering it down, wasn't it? Does it make life a lot more difficult?
No, not at all. For me, it's the best. It's the best weather to play football for me.
Really?
I prefer this weather instead of sun and all the stuff.
Really? Why is that?
Because when I do a sliding tackle, it's more spectacular.
True. Yeah, you can understand that.
No, but when it's hot, maybe the tempo is not the same.
Yeah.
When it's like this, you can do the effort and you are not so tired. The same tiredness with the sun. So for me, it's the perfect weather to play football.
Let's look at things at the other end of the pitch then. We've sort of touched on it. Cab is saying it's just about getting that balance now, isn't it? Helen, when you're looking at the strike force, unfortunately, I think a big issue is the lack of personnel, isn't it? We're a bit thin on the ground in that area. But in the same breath, no excuses. We need to start taking these opportunities to get some points on the board.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, the injuries aren't going to help. We've got 2 natural number 9s not in the squad. They're unavailable at the moment. Andre Gray, I think when he came on, made a difference. He gave us something different, a bit more directness in behind at times. Deulofeu and Pereyra like the ball into feet. They like to come short and sometimes offer the same option. And we needed a bit of something different, I think. But as you said, there's not much you can do when you haven't got the personnel. It is difficult when you're not scoring as a forward. That pressure gets heavier and heavier every game that you go without a goal, and maybe you try and do things that you wouldn't necessarily do if you're in good form. You try too hard, you take that extra touch to try and set yourself, and then the moment's gone. But I think, if they can get, there's forwards in there that need a goal. Once that happens, they'll be on fire, but it's just, when's that going to happen?
Yeah, do you get that impression as well, that when the goals start coming, the confidence will then build, and then, it's just a case of getting those goals, isn't it, to get us going?
Yes, of course, it's not the same when you can score. We saw it against Arsenal, against Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
It's a different game. It's just a question to be more clinical, but it's not only about the strikers. It's about all the team. Maybe we don't score because as a unit we are not how to say this, clinical and precise in the last third of the pitch. So you just question the white ball at the right moment, and for sure when Troy will come back and other player injured, we will have more strength to put danger in the opponent.
Do you feel as a squad there is this feeling that you are all quite looking forward to having that leadership of Troy back in the squad?
Yes, because when you play with Gerard and Roberto up front, it's not the same game. Maybe sometimes we have a lot of pressure at the back and we need to play long, and they are not the kind of player who will win headers. So we lost Danny last week. We don't have now this player who can win a lot of headers when we are on pressure at the back. So of course when Troy will be back, we will have this power up the front.
I do want to ask you as well about Ben Foster. As you said, you're a team, you're a unit. He earned his stripes today, didn't he? I mean, I'll ask you in a second what it's like as a defender having him behind you, but he pulled off a couple of really important saves, didn't he, Helen?
He did. The one in the first half in front of the rookery where it looked all the world that he was just going to slide it into the back of the net, but he made himself big. When you're a forward and you're coming up against someone that makes themselves that huge, the goal looks very, very small.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did very well today, and not someone that I'd want to come up against as a forward anyway.
And Christian, as a back line, what's it like having Ben behind you? It must give you a lot of confidence in what you're doing.
Yes, of course. He has a lot of experience, and he has this spectacular service.
Yeah.
So he helped us a lot today. Without him, for sure, we would lost the game. So it's good for him that he helped the team to win the point today.
Just finally then, as we sort of look ahead now to next week and the Chelsea game, huge game here under lights in front of the cameras. Do you think there's a feeling in the dressing room that you've really been building something now in these last 3 games, and you've got to go out and get it now against Chelsea, but they've been a brilliant side this season, haven't they? How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yes, we are looking forward to play this game as we did against Arsenal, as we did against Tottenham. We are fearless against this kind of team, especially here at Vicarage Road. everything is possible. We need to believe in ourselves, and it would be great to get the first victory against Chelsea next Saturday.
As a team, do you look at the Premier League table at all or discuss it?
Yes, of course. We cannot ignore it. We are last at the league, and it's really painful because, as I said many times, we have a lot of qualities in the squad, and it's unacceptable to be last at the league. It's our fault, and we need to put things in the right way as soon as is possible.
Well, as it stands, I think that leaves us 5 adrift of 17th at the moment, certainly on Saturday evening. Helen, on a brighter note, the ladies doing very well, aren't they, in the WSL Championship?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're sitting top of the league at the moment. I think on goal difference, we don't have a game tomorrow, so I believe that Plymouth could well overtake us. But come Christmas, we'd have played everybody at least once, and we've got 3 league games left now before Christmas. It's a bit fragmented, the fixture list, but it's the same for everyone, so we can't really complain. Yeah, things are looking bright, and hopefully we can finish up there at the end of the season.
And just to round things off, the WE campaign, the Anti-discrimination campaign that Watford have launched against hate crime, I know it's something you feel particularly passionate about, isn't it, Cabra? I think we saw you tweet it.
Yes, of course it does. It's a good thing for the club to be the first one to do this kind of campaign. Everybody speak about racism when you look at the nationalities or the color of the skin, but there is a lot of discrimination, and it's good for everybody to feel that the club is a direct line with the police to try to punish the person who can be responsible of this.
Absolutely. Well, we'll leave it there on that positive note, shall we? Christian, thanks ever so much for your time. Well done today. Helen, likewise. Enjoy the break tomorrow. Put your feet up. Warm up. It's been freezing today, hasn't it? Ooh, horrible and wet. Right, keep an eye out for more reaction on our social media channels. We'll be back here next Saturday after that game against Chelsea. We'll see you then for added time.
Hey guys, where are you going? Subscribe first.